Hey, welcome aboard, everyone.
你好，金健
I'm Sherry,
and I'm Sarah.
and this is Firefly Fridays.
The shiniest little show in the verse that is out here boosting the signal about the chance for a new Firefly animated series.
And this week we are revisiting Shindig, and we have a special guest with us tonight, Mark Van Olen from Clone Wars Revisited. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I'm so excited. You have no idea. This is one of my all-time favorite shows, and in order to be fresh for tonight, I watched this episode about 3 hours ago. So it is like burned. I have notes on notes, girl, and we're gonna stay on
Hey,
topic.
you're in good company. We have our notes.
You're joined. I
This
have
is
3
the
notebooks
right
going.
Oh no!
That's right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Is in
And for
fine.
my wanted poster,
so
I
you're here. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
love it.
Well, when you have a show that only has 13 episodes, you really got to roll out the red carpet for every single one, right? Hey, Chantel, thanks for joining us tonight, sweetie. Good to see you.
And Mark is one of the reasons, that Sarah and I are able to do this. He was a big supporter of us doing this show, so we're very thankful for you doing that for us, Mark.
Yeah,
we're very glad you're here. Thanks for supporting us. Fantastic director of programming for our virtual Cantina network. And tonight is all about everybody's favorite episode, Shindig.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yes.
And I'm excited to not direct anything and just like I was telling someone my favorite gig when I was a licensee was just to be a podcast guest. And then when you have to make one, oh my God, is it so much harder. But tonight I get to just like enjoy. So this is really fun for me.
Yeah, just nerd out, just geek out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this episode is technically episode 4. It's our 5th episode in our little series. Written by Jane Espenson and directed by Vern Gillum.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what was really fun that I did some research on this one is that Jane just absolutely had a blast writing and being a part of this episode. The whole idea of it was already kind of in motion by the time that they brought her in. But she said that it is immeasurably fun finding the words for this, that she just really enjoyed digging into the dialogue because she loved the old-timey kind of speak the new Old West style that was going on with this show. And I think I have to read this quote by Joss Whedon because it was just absolutely perfect. He felt it was time for a little romantic comedy with Mal and Inara and get to see a little bit of her world, being this big, fancy, fine, upstanding companion. And of course, Mal is the fish out of water guy, which is never not funny. And of course, to have Kaylee be in a dress, because not since I wanted Willow to have an Eskimo suit have I been so excited about somebody's outfit. Yes, and as Mark said, she was a big part of Buffy, and I think that's one of the reasons she got on. And as long as we are talking about Kaylee and her dress, I have to share my little figurine.
Oh, that's beautiful.
She's got the whole thing with the gloves and the bag and the bow and even a little strawberry. So
those ruffles, man.
Yes. The dress. That's kind of the one everybody remembers.
Yeah, and Shauna Trippick said that, to make the dress, the ruffles are made out of fabric that is normally used for Indian saris. And there are several instances of Indian influence in this episode.
Yes, all from the antique saris, the beading and everything it was all handmade by Kaylee's dress, and that was where she got all of it from. So completely made from scratch. She drew from kind of a Gone with the Wind inspiration. She found a drawing in one of her history books from 1861. And of course, Mal's suit was also handmade for the party, which is where we get the infamous line. They did, of course, ask her about it, and she's like, it was just some last-minute alterations. Like, we didn't really mean for him to actually have, like, super tight pants. That was just the style of the suit. And now it became, like, this running gag for the entire series, and everybody knows the line, yes, sir, Captain Tight Pants.
Captain Tight Pants. I've seen some good
and this suit is also one of the... This is also one of the few times where Mal doesn't wear his World War II type suspenders.
Exactly. He's got the whole proper, like, 3/4 length suit with the silk cravat, and they're all decked out.
And I do want to say that, again, the DVD version of the beginning of the episode is different from the streaming version.
How so?
We're seeing this. Well, it opens with a short blob about the Earth it was, and about the terraforming and the unification war. Only this time it's Mal telling the story, and it almost becomes like a commercial, because he ends it, with like, "You got a job, we can do it. Don't much care what it is."
That was the intro that I was familiar with. And so I was really surprised that like the first 3 or 4 episodes of the series were Shepherd Book, and now it jumps to Mal. I was like, okay, so Shindig, at least it seems, is where they made the switch. So I found that quite curious. Yeah.
I have a theory about that, because this has come up in discussions. At one point, I think that Shepherd Book was supposed to be our man on the outside through the audience lens, and was supposed to be commenting on all the shit that was going on around him. And that's why he was the intro dialogue. And initially. But I think, the studio interferes, the tone of the show changes. We all know the story about the pilot getting redone and the train job and all that shit. There's so much inconsistency with the storytelling, and I'm sure they were like, make your lead do the intro. Why are we doing the 9th build character as the person who gives the intro narration, which makes sense. So and they should have streamlined it for the DVD, right? It's Mal the whole time, right?
Oh, it's not on the DVD
at all. Oh
no,
because I just watched it on streaming. So I actually wrote in about Mal's opening narration is so succinct. It's so perfect. Like it's really well written. Whole series, and it's probably 45 seconds, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He does a beautiful job. Yeah. No, it's not on the DVD at all. Which is why I flipped out the first time I watched it on streaming. I was like, "What is this? What is this? I don't know what this is. What is happening?"
I wonder if it was the syndication version. Not that it lasted long in syndication, but like they did re-air it for a little while. I think on Sci-Fi, right?
Yes.
That's what led
I
up
don't
to
remember
the
exactly what
Serenity
year
movie.
it was, but Yep.
There's so much lore for this.
So I'm
13 episode show. It's ridiculous.
It is absurd. But it's the kind of thing that everybody was so heavily involved into it. I mean, Jane talks about that she was super excited to get to do the story about the unspoken attraction between Inara and Mal. She said that is just it's because you have to dance with words, right? Because it's all unspoken, and she just loved being able to do that. And that she got to dig up all these old-fashioned words, right? Like palaver. Like we had to actually research, how do you actually say palaver, because nobody says it anymore. We read it in books, but we have to be careful. Are we pronouncing this correctly?
And should they pronounce it correctly?
Yeah. How do we do that? Yeah, exactly.
Especially as we're mixing languages now. There's a good amount of Chinese in this episode. In fact, Inara makes herself known as someone of importance by speaking a full sentence in Chinese to that one guy, right? Like, it's like, oh shit, she's at the top 1%, without a doubt.
And I have the translation of that line if anyone would like to know what it says.
Oh, I'm teeing it up. You're knocking him out of the park.
The shooting script. Yep. I really love the fact that...
I want to apologize
go ahead.
For my internet connection tonight is not cooperating as well. So if I blend in and out, it's on my end.
No worries,
You're
sweetie.
all good.
No worries. Yeah, we'll pick up what you're putting down. We'll give you a little pauses put in there. It is obvious. It is obvious. And yet still people don't, it's one of those things where it's the elephant in the room. You just don't talk about it. So the 3 big things that Jane talked about in the interview that I read that she loved being able to invent was the little sci-fi touches. Number 1, she got to invent the floating, hovering chandelier. She thought it was going to be just like a brief mention, and that was it. And she's like, oh no, it was like a full screen pan up. The entire room was decorated. She was like, it was a whole big, huge thing. She got to invent futuristic hotel doorknobs, right? She loved that. Yeah. That was actually a light bulb that they just...
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that was like very... Yeah.
It was seamless, right? She was like, this is so cool. They made it a light bulb and just painted the front silver. And she goes, and that's how come it lit up when they stuck it in the socket.
Beautiful.
And also she got to create the Descendant of Poker, which I thought would be a lot of fun.
Oh my God. We already play Sabacc. I can't learn another card game. I still don't know how to play Sabacc.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, tall card. So she had to invent
it. And I know on the commentary on the DVD, she says that the rules for it were on the old website, firefly.com, but which doesn't exist
way.
anymore. But when I was looking into it, it says, no, all they did was just put in the notes, the scene from there. It wasn't really explained. But if you go to fireflywiki.org and look up Tall Card, there are 2 different sets of directions of how to play it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Look at you. There's a little librarian going at it again. I love it. So the prop master, Randy Erickson, said the metal cards were great. He found them in a down in Chinatown. They were bright, shiny gold things. I ended up spray painting them black and steel wooling it off to age them. Of course, the sound guy hated them because they were metal and they clanked. And he said almost anything that looks good has got to be bad for sound. If it looks good, sound hates it.
Isn't that true in all set design?
Right?
Meanwhile, the set design in this episode is gorgeous. I love the buffet and just everything about the shindig itself, the costuming, all that kind of stuff. And my favorite way in on this is like Kaylee being such a bumpkin that everything is like so impressive to her. And it's so unimpressive to all the douchebags who are attending the thing. But as a viewer, I am equally bumpkin as Kaylee. And so I'm like, oh my God, look at the floating chandelier.
Yes.
Even with the lens of 20 years ago, that being like the special effects of the time, it holds up. And
it was fun.
The whole thing is beautiful. Yeah,
it was gorgeous. It was gorgeously well done. Yeah, and that's right. Yep, multiple versions. You never quite know. But I also think while we're talking about sets, I loved the beginning set of this episode, where we started in what we considered to be kind of typical Firefly setting, sort of a seedy little bar, and you've got some rough guys and some tough guys, and then the camera pans and there's Inara perched on a stool drinking this like little foodie drink that's like bright pink in this tiny little delicate glass, and I'm like, what's going on? This is weird. Like, she's just along for fun. Why not?
Yeah, Jane Esperson said that the reason for that scene is to show that Inara doesn't really fit in Mal's world. And later in the episode, it shows how Mal doesn't fit in her world. And it even goes a little further a little later.
Yes, it absolutely does. Yeah. So, great scene. Digital pool. I thought that was hysterical when the balls short out,
Yeah.
And it doesn't make like that satisfying clack noises. Instead, it kind of makes like a little like pinball sound where it just sort of... They're getting the full story from another crew about how they basically are kidnapping people and making them involuntary slaves for terraforming out on the rim, and how much money they're making hand over fist. And Mal, our adorable little anti-hero captain with a heart of gold, swipes his money and gives it to Inara to hide. Says she might want to go back to the ship. And
she's like, no, I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
I wrote that down. I was like, the old-timey bar brawl was like such a great way to start the episode, and also to show the dichotomy of like there's 2 different types of get-togethers, right? This like, dive bar, or like the really elitist thing. And by the way, the more dangerous place is the more elitist place. Like that's where Mel is actually going to get killed. The human traffickers were just going to punch him. It turns out the real danger is the guy who bought Inara for the night.
The snobs, right? Yeah, the snobs. Those are the danger. And Jane is running around with a busted cigar in his mouth. Like he will not take that cigar out, even though he's whacking people with pool cues and hitting people over the head with chairs. He's still got that cigar. Cracks me up every single time. Absolutely priceless.
Morena said she was actually a little scared during that scene.
I bet.
Sometimes, like when the guy was thrown into the mirror, and she said he came very close to me.
Yeah.
That stunt looked really dangerous. And look, I trust the people who worked on Buffy because there were never injuries on that set. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar said, she broke a couple fingers a couple times when they were fencing and stuff like that. But people left the Buffy set safe, and like outside of the emotional damage caused by Joss Whedon, no one was physically harmed on that show, really. So there'd be widespread reports, especially given like all the shitty things that Joss Whedon did. But yeah, when that guy went over the bar into the mirror, I actually gasped on the couch and scared my cat because I forgot how insane it looked. Like that's wire work. Like that's that's nuts.
And the bartender, the actor who's playing the bartender, totally sells it. Like he was he's pretty unruffled, and then he was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, hang on."
There's also a lot of shattered glass. The glass shatters everywhere. Like it was the kind of thing I was like, I don't think that would happen in real life. They obviously like blew candy glass like outward, which is probably what Moreno was more concerned about.
Right? Yeah. Lovely place. I'll tell my friends. Right?
Yeah. Yes, that's the line. Oh my God. How many lines did you write down from this episode? Because all I was like a court stenographer over here with all my notes about like the shit that they say in this episode. It's so the textbook of what we think is like snarky meta funny now. Like at the time, it was so groundbreaking to hear this stuff. Like
exactly.
Where was it? Oh, up until the punching, it was a real nice party. I mean, like that's the funniest shit I've probably ever heard in my life from 20 something years ago. And now it would just be like a casual throwaway line because we're all in that same wavelength. They invented this wavelength.
It was revolutionary back then. You're right, Jason. I'm so sorry. We forgot to show off our t-shirts, right? We have our Firefly t-shirts. Real cooks wear a suit and tie. I have got my Badger shirt on today. And Sherry,
and let's see, mine is just says shiny.
Shiny.
With Serenity. One of my bargains. I have 2.5 shirts. There's one I can't find anywhere, but that's probably going to be fixed very soon.
That's
because we have merch.
We do.
It's public. We have 2 new shirts that you too can order.
And Aaron Waldron.
Dave O'Neill and Aaron Waldron. Beautiful shirts for us.
Super excited. Lots of different colors, backgrounds you can pick based on the different styles of the t-shirts. So, have fun.
I got a very special text message to specifically tell me that they're available in sleeveless. So I hope everyone else out there is aware. I'm going to be getting the dinosaur one, obviously. So yeah, that's the one. I mean, curse the sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Inevitable betrayal. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, and Aaron, he showed us what he based that one on. There was an old Western poster for an old Western that showed like a giant horse. And he just replaced the horse with a dinosaur.
Colors and everything. Yeah, it was really amazing. He did a lot of deep dives into old Western posters and stuff, trying to come up with it, and then sort of spacified it a little bit with the pistols and the spaceship in the back. So yeah,
it looks like official merch. Not to get us in trouble, but it looks like so real.
Well, hopefully, if they get here on time, JB are going to be sporting them in Texas. So hopefully, we'll get lots of comments and start spreading the word.
Talk about Texas real quick, just because we are a week away.
It is a good time. I cannot believe it. A week away from Boonta Eve.
Who is stressing? Who is excited? Who is gathering their stuff? Who's ready to get some posters signed? Who's ready to sing some karaoke, some live band karaoke?
No, I don't do karaoke. No.
I will be looking for lots of updates on the page.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go live a lot. Sherry's going to keep the home fires burning. And we're going to text you relentlessly. You don't even know. The poor people who are at home are going to get better updates than people on the floor in Texas because we have a
so that next year
crew.
You can come with us. Yeah, next year. This is my first time, so we're going to make next year Sherry's first time. So.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So
we'll see. I may not have money after Celebration next year.
That's a fair point. I forgot about that.
Oh, did you see who they announced today for Celebration? Holy shit, it's like the whole Mando crew. Like,
no way.
It was Brendan and Lateef and Katie and Emily. Like, it was a lot of people. So it was a nice little conglomeration of Mando.
Good. Yeah. Mando needs more love. So I like to hear that.
Real quick on Texas, let's put up JB, if you can put up the Boonta Eve info, because we are a week out, and I realize the graphic hasn't been updated with our selling percentages, but apparently like we're in the low ticket, like the dangerously low ticket quantity left remaining. So if you are considering going to Boonta Eve, I would recommend that you just spend the $30 and buy your fucking ticket now. Like, don't wait until you're in Texas and worried about what to do on Friday night, because one, there is nothing to do. I was there last year. I promise you there aren't better alternatives, but also like everyone from the show is going to go here. When people are asking, what are you doing after the show? What are you doing after the show? If you don't already have your ticket,
go to the girl.
There really is a threat that it's going to sell out. Like we were turning people away last year and trying to expand the capacity last year. So there's that. Yeah, it was a thing. Either way, we're so excited about Boonta Eve. We have a bunch of amazing guests that are going to be doing autographs. We've got the live band karaoke. We've got some special presentations. We've got some door prizes. There's like a bunch of cool stuff happening. And then the VCN crew is running wild throughout the weekend. We have people hosting panels. Sarah, what's your panel about?
My panel is our Daughters of the Galaxy show. Unfortunately, I'm flying solo. Ashley won't be there, but I am interviewing the ladies who Leia, all of the voice actors who have carried on the legacy from Carrie Fisher. So I'm really excited and a little nervous too. So if y'all are in the area, come out. It's on Sunday morning. It's the big panel Sunday morning. Coming
I'll
out
be
and
there.
support me and catch me in case I faint and fall off the stage.
So we've got Kat Tabor, Misty Lee, Anna Graves,
Julie Dolan.
And
Anna Graves. Yep.
Yeah.
Those
four of our ladies who Leia. They'll be at Boonta Eve, obviously.
They will. And they're also doing a group photo on Saturday. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And we have that special print that you can get signed at Boonta Eve, and then you can get your group photo op at Rebels
that is happening?
So,
good.
Good. Oh, yeah. That special print looks amazing with all four of them on there as Leia, which is very cool. I actually need Julie to do my Rebels poster, so I got to get 2 things signed by Julie because my Rebels poster is coming along. I finally got Tia, so the core ghost is taken care of. Spectres 1 through 6 are done now. It's nice. And Filoni, the maker, is on there too, so we're good. Everyone else now is gravy, but like there's important gravy still to be had. I still need Jason Isaacs. I still need to get Julie Dolan. Steven Stanton still isn't on there, even though I talk to that man like semi-regularly. It's just we haven't been in the same zip code in ages. So like the Rebels poster needs some attention. The Mando poster needs some attention. We're also, for everyone who's going to be home, like Sherry, watching for us for updates, we're going to be going live quite a bit. Colin's going to be down there. He's hosting a couple panels. I have a panel with Bonnie Peace on Sunday as well. We're going to try to get some of that on social as we go, whether it's in real form or like quick bits of video. And we're also going to be doing a bunch of celebrity interviews. Dave O'Neill is going to be tailing me as one of my producers. JB is has a microphone or some type of recording device. AJ and Spencer are working for the show. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to see everything from you guys.
We'll be pestering you quite a bit. And yes, Julie does have a Princess Leia action figure too. So I know David is waiting to get that signed. Okay. All right. Let's get back to Firefly. I have derailed long enough.
That's all right. At least it was relative content. It's all about things that are happening with the network. Yep. Yes. So we go straight from the bar fight to Serenity coming in over a planet. And turns out it is Persephone, the place where they picked up Shepherd Book and the Tam siblings in the pilot episode of Serenity. It's all looking very pretty, beautiful, sunrise from space. Everything's looking great. Zoe's all happy. She calls it like a second home. Mal gets a little prickly and says, "We're not going to be kissing any dirt. What do you think you're doing?" And then one of my husband's favorite scenes is the proximity alarms start going off, and Zoe makes a comment about the planet seems to be coming up a little fast there, hon. And he's like, "That's just because I'm going down too quickly." Whoa.
He says, "I'm likely going to crash and kill us all."
Kill us all. And Mal, this was my adopted attitude as a parent. Says, "Well, yep, all right, that happens. Let me know." Walks out. That's kind of
one of the funniest minute of television ever. The interaction between the three of them. It's like they've known each other for a decade at that point, and we're in episode 4.
It's crazy. It really, really is. And it's just the whole shaking and the ad-libbing from Alan, all that's none of that was in the script. That was all just him adding it in for the humor at the end there. So
Can I also just interrupt real quick and say that you and JB need to be a Wash and Zoe cosplay at some point, because he's so Wash coded and you are so Zoe coded. Like it is.
I'm not
more and more.
I don't think I could.
No, it's nothing to do with like your height or whatever.
But
it's your
tall,
vibe.
Statuesque,
Oh my God! First of all, you are very commanding, and he is very silly. So, and even though he's the military one, you know that he's like. Come on, I'm looking at the shirt he's wearing. You can't see him.
I was going to say he does have a new job where they wear Hawaiian shirts on Fridays, and so he did look like Wash when he walked in the door.
Today he's like I see the Wash. So I need you to do it. I'm very Sean Mayer, obviously. Like I'm very much the Doctor. So
yes. We could do that. We could get a crew together. We should look and see.
We absolutely could get a crew together.
But you actually could pull off.
I always felt like I was Kaylee like.
Aww,
you and Ashley could fight it out for Kaylee. I could see that.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. He really did. He said that in several interviews, is that they were very tight in their writing and their scripting. He was very careful to follow the lines, but a lot of what happened, like in this scene, is it was all just him going, we're good, we're fine. It was a lot of like almost nonverbal acting, which he excels at. But there was very little ad-libbing on this script at all. So
you don't need it
they
when
stuck to
Jane
it.
and John or Jane and Joss are writing.
Yeah,
Honestly.
a lot of
Nor would they
music
allow
writers.
for a lot of movement. They probably give you one extra take to try something new, but Joss is very precise.
It's always unusual when he lets it roll. You know, that was in the last time's episode.
And I know Jane said she did have, Josh had her rewriting a lot of lines, of scenes.
Okay.
You know, it's tightening them up, and he would make suggestions and everything.
Yeah, I actually have something I have to be sure to share when we get to a later scene about that along those same lines. Yep, along those same lines. So yeah, after the ship doesn't crash, they can get to see the interior of Anara's shuttle again, kind of changing the world, right? We got the outside of the bridge, everything's all rough and tough, and then inside is gorgeous. It's got candles lit, it's got silks draped everywhere. She's got a fancy touchscreen Cortex up. A lot of back and forth going on. She's looking at recorded messages, and then we get a chime and a live screen viewing pops up with our villain of the episode, Atherton.
So hot.
Oh my God, do you really
think that? Oh no,
he is a handsome young man. I will give him that. But he's no Captain Tight Pants.
Oh, see, that he strays just a little too far into like the snooty femininity for me. It just makes me want to punch him. I don't know. I guess if he really poured on the charm, but I mean, I saw him and I immediately went, ugh. Really? No. Ugh. Like just the oil oozing off of him just immediately turned me off. I was like, no.
They made him the opposite of Mal, obviously, which I think was the positive of this. And so it's a different flavor, and it depends on what flavor of ice cream you're interested in that night, right? But his use in the episode, I think, is spectacular. There's also something that's very subtle about that whole video sequence is that she's interviewing them. They put in requests for this woman, and she's got at least 15 up on the screen, right? Like they're pre-recorded messages. She's got a dozen of them minimum, and she's selecting. She's picking her suitor. He just happened to get through because he's a repeat customer, and I think she was already potentially going to be meeting him. So he had a direct line and was able to be like,
he called her immediately. Yeah. Nobody else did. And actually, it was 10 men and 2 women, according to the script.
I didn't even notice the women.
I saw one once. I read that. But I thought this was interesting. The description, Atherton is handsome in his 30s with just enough charm to offset his aura of entitlement. And I read that and I was like, needed a little more charm. Didn't work for me. Didn't offset nothing. I needed a little more charm because that didn't work.
It's the crazy hotline. Are you hotter than you are crazy? He wasn't hotter than he was entitled.
Not for me.
He was under the threshold.
Didn't do it. Yep. So he pings in. Is
she was swiping.
Yeah, she really was.
Oh, she was.
And that's the clue that she's in control this whole time. Mal doesn't see that. Mal doesn't view her as an object, but Mal thinks that other people are viewing her as an object, and that's why her profession seems below him in his mind. She's at the top of the food chain in every way. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would imagine that where Mal grew up, there weren't a lot of registered companions. There actually probably were whorehouses, which is a very
unregistered,
very
which we get to.
Yeah,
my other favorite episode. I might want to join for the whores, so I love that episode.
Well, we have you penciled in. I've got it written down with a question mark next to your name.
Excellent.
So,
yes.
If you can fit us in. Yeah, but then of course, after all this is happening, here comes Mal, which I always found really interesting because we don't really know why he's there at this point. He's basically just knocking on the door and coming strolling in. Usually there's a reason, there's a point, he has something to say.
He makes a fake reason by saying that the ship is crashing. Like that's his flimsy excuse to be like, we're descending maybe faster than you might expect or whatever.
Oh, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning there, and she's like, yeah, that was written on my screen. I saw that. What are you doing here? So there's like the back and forth.
Flimsiest of reasons to have a conversation with this woman that he's clearly obsessed with and in love with, but can't admit it to himself because he also doesn't think that he's good enough for her. That's why he's constantly negging her, right? Like he's almost trying to make it so that like he can push her down to a point where then they'd be on equal footing because he knows that she's better than him.
But she doesn't call it out either. No, you know what I mean?
No, she would never lord that over him either. Like because she is better than him, she would never lord it over him. Like that's
like she said in the first episode. So few men are a mystery, right? Like, and she says repeatedly, every time I think I have you figured out, you do something weird, you know? So I love it's written very well in this scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene. We get so much character from that little bit of time.
Mel definitely figures out what's going on. He recognizes the whatever, and she's basically like, it's none of your business. Get out. They're bantering back and forth, and then it cuts down to the planet, and we get to one of the, I think probably one of the best lessons anybody could ever take away about not letting your irritation run away with you. This is just like cringe, as the kids say, long before it was ever cringe. This is a really rough scene for me. I get so sad every time. I'm like, don't do it. Oh, he did it. Dang it.
Yeah, he really doesn't show his best side in this scene.
Because he's feeling all prickly.
And what happens is they're gathering supplies.
Walking through the docks where they pick up passengers.
Walking through the docks, gathering supplies, and they came across a dress shop that Kaylee notices, and she's like, look at all the pretties. And, it's beautiful dress. And let me get the order of this. And Zoe comments that, it's too floofery for her.
Too much floofera. Yeah.
She would rather have something that had a little slink in it, which kind of perks, Wash, a slinky dress. You want a slinky dress? I'll buy you a slinky dress. Captain, can you give me the money to buy a slinky dress?
Captain, I have money. And then Jane says, I'll help. I'll pay.
When Jane said he's going to chip in, and then Zoe says, I can hurt you. That's what I mean about the dynamic. Like, this is so Buffy coded, too. The way those, 7 teenagers spoke to each other in a circle of dialogue and kept it rolling, like the almost improv. If anyone's been to a good improv show, people who know each other well and can actually volley, that's what Buffy feels like when you're watching a great episode. That's what this episode feels like. The best of, the Buffy dialogue.
Yeah, it does. The way they talk right over each other. It's really beautiful. Yeah. So Mal's trying to shoo everybody along, right? And okay, let's go. Come on. And they're like, oh, Inara wears stuff like this with her work she does, and these rich people buy her stuff, and he's getting more and more prickly. And is complaining about how heavy the pack is he's wearing, and then
he's like, what are you going to do with that? Waltz around the engine room, be like a sheep walking on its hind legs. Jane laughs, and you can just see Kaylee's face
just falls, and she just turns, and she's embarrassed, and she walks away. And the look that Zoe gives him, it's like,
a killer look,
ship, right? Like, just picks up the bag and is like, "You're walking your ass back to the ship. We're all getting on the mule. You're walking."
Zoe's one of the few who can really put the captain in his place,
and he knows he's bad too. Yeah. And then, of course, we get a full Jane characterization.
Driving away.
She and
Mal hears a gun cock behind him, and he turns and he sees Badger approaching him. Just the lane he needs right now.
And I feel like oh, go ahead.
Badger is like, I heard you were in town. And I'd like to have a sit down. And Mal's like, I prefer a piss off.
Or a bit of a piss off. Yep.
And Badger says, sorry that I gave you the impression that I was asking you. And so then they switch, and they're all, Jane and Mal are in Badger's office, and they're sitting around a table, and Badger's serving them his special tea that has a bit of wood alcohol in it.
The hell is wood alcohol?
It's really poor quality alcohol. That's why Mal says the finest of beverages that'll make you blind. Like this is like moonshine kind of thing.
It seemed like moonshine, and I was like, oh, they probably put it in a wood barrel of whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Something. And I feel like this is a fantastic time to talk about the gloriousness that is Mark A. Shepard.
Oh, is he in every sci-fi series except for Star Wars? Yeah.
I think so.
Literally all of them. And I got to say, this is my top choice for the reason I want an animated series, because I need more Badger. We got to have more Badger, right?
Yes.
He's only in 2 episodes, right?
Badger is the best villain, I think, in this whole series.
Oh, yeah. And I loved that Mark Shepard said that his fatal flaw is that he wants to be liked. Oh. That's the worst part about it. He's a criminal, but he wants to be liked, and that's why he keeps screwing up, because he gets all, like insecure about it, and he wants people to like him, and so then he gets, it could be so much fun in an animated series, right? We have another episode or two on Persephone, because it's a huge, dock community with a big hub of trade. But also, I got the great idea. Wouldn't it be fun if, for whatever reason, Badger's got to run? he's got to get off of Persephone. Like, he loses some of his standing in the community. And then the only person he knows out in the black is Malcolm Reynolds.
I love
and then
that.
the tables are flipped, right? And they got to figure out how to shift that dynamic when, like, oh God, you could just come up with so many ideas. This is why the animated series has just really got to happen for me. It's got to happen. This is a guy, we want to come back. And he absolutely said that he would be on it in a minute if Firefly came back. And I mean, that was, 15, 20 years ago, but I think we could easily get him to agree to do some voice acting for a new series.
Quite easily. But Mal, was like, cuts to the chase. He's like, what do you need? And I get tongue-tied. I'm sorry. Badger tells him that, that there's a local Warwick Harlow, played by the wonderful Larry Drake. Many people will recognize him from his LA Law days. And that he has some property he wants to sell off that he might be able to get for, a good price for. But the local powers that be won't let him. And he needs a smuggler, and Badger's willing to cut Mal in. And Mal says, well, why don't you just do it yourself? And Harrow won't deal with Badger himself because he's taken an irrational dislike to him. Says he's a quality gent with his nose up in the air, and he doesn't find Badger respectable, but Mal may have a chance. And Mal's like, well, you backed out on us before, left us hanging. And Badger's kind of mumbling around trying to figure out the word, and Jane says, you found us pretentious?
Pretentious?
Mal gives him a dirty look and says, Badger says, you think you're better than other people? And Mal says, just the ones that I'm better than. Yep. And I think that's the very quality is why you need me. But how are you going to set up a meetup if he won't deal with you? And Badger says he knows a safe place, and that's where Har will be. And, it's safe because it's got all these high-tech gun scans that, won't let Badger in. But you might slip in. Of course, you couldn't buy yourself an invite with a diamond the size of a testicle. But I got my hands on a couple. And Mal and Jane
like
kind
the children
of
they
chuckle
are,
at that.
Giggling and snickering.
And, Badger's like, invites. I've got invites.
Again,
do you want this meeting or not?
Yeah.
I really loved that when they asked Mark to come back to reprise the role, he made a point of requesting, I want you to hire the same guys. So they have the exact same actors being the crew in this episode that they did in the pilot. So they're exactly the same. And what intrigued the hell out of me is there is more to this scene than it was actually put into the show. There was a whole bunch of stuff. And both Mark and Adam have tapes from the editors that has all the stuff that they filmed for this episode.
Oh, that's cool.
There are tapes out there with the actual whole scene. And they also had real food and real tea. So basically Adam Baldwin sat there and stuffed his face for like 3 hours with actual cucumber sandwiches and tea with no alcohol in the tea.
I would like to see the deleted
I
scenes,
think
please.
with all the cut scenes that this episode easily could have been, an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah,
the way it talks about
feels like a movie because there's so much happening. Every character has something going on. Other than you could sort of make the case that like River and the Doctor don't have a lot. They're on the ship. They have a day off for once. Like the Doctor didn't have to doctor anyone. No one. I guess Mal at the end. He
did at the end.
At the very end.
And River played a little bit there with later.
Yeah, a tiny
but
bit.
I want to point out
distraction that wasn't the distraction. They were like, "Oh, we could have used that distraction." I was like, "Guys."
I want to point out that part of Badger's costume included this lovely jeweled flamingo pin, and this was one of Shauna Trepik's personal pins. She collected flamingos, and so she wanted to put that in the show. And she said that even in a later episode, because they they made up all of Jane's shirts, and she wanted to put him in a pink flamingo shirt in one of the later episodes, but got vetoed on that.
Where the hell
and I think that would have been.
This is from the Firefly loot crates that were out for a little over a year. This is Badger's family heirloom flamingo pin.
Amazing.
And it's like
that's
an
probably
actual
worth like $100 just on its own.
Solid metal pin that you can actually wear. Yep. Came in its own little special box. Yep. But I knew when I read that about Shauna that I had to make sure to pull this out because I was like, I have the actual replica pin. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I miss loot crates so much. They were great.
The way they were. Yeah. Okay, so then after we get through all of that, there was
we're switching to the ball.
Yeah, the big changes in the script. Jane said that the little scene between Mal and Kaylee, where she's still mad at him and is working in the engine room, and he comes in and is like, "Hey, I got a job for you," and she's like, "I'm not talking to you, Captain." They actually had that before the whole ballroom scene, and instead they moved it in the episode to kind of break up the two separate chunks of it. She thought that was a fantastic edit because it just works so much better to break it up. But yeah, now we get to the super fancy ballroom area of Persephone that we have not seen before.
The Shindig, as it were.
That's right.
It's the biggest party of the year, and it's so fancy. You've got the announcing the people as they come in through the door. And then they have to go through this fancy
weapons detection scanner.
Scanner. And, of course, one person thinks they're going to get through and nope, there's a gun shows up quite clearly on the scanner. And they reluctantly have to hand it over.
The gun. Yep. So we get this.
And we get Atherton and Inara announced. It was a very fancy.
I think we lost you there a bit.
Plan, all the food was covered. And it kind of, I know this was pre-Bridgerton, but it gave me Bridgerton vibes when I was rewatching it again with the fancy dances and everything. And I just felt like I was there with Queen Charlotte and Violet Bridgerton.
Yes, they definitely went for the Regency era style of dancing. And I loved how the fact that on these kind of planets out on the mid-rim and the border, food is a sign of money. So the fact that they have all of this fresh fruit is like extreme wealth. It's just an obscene amount of display of pomp and circumstance, and it's fresh fruit.
Yes.
So much of the design and everything in the buffets was all of that. Yeah. And we get to see Inara making the rounds, blowing kisses, interacting with everybody.
Chinese.
And I'm not going to try to read the Mandarin, but what it translates to is "you're looking wonderful, old friend," is what she told him. Yep. So Atherton is trying to pay her compliments and telling her about how she belongs in this room. And then, of course, he has to, make an uncouth comment that makes Inara a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, she tells him to watch her language, and then she curses not 30 seconds later because Mal walks in, which is, again, great writing.
It is.
But that's your first inkling that, he is actually a problem, because this whole time it's an act. He doesn't want or respect her. He wants to own her. And those are two very different things, right? There are people who want partners, and then there are people who want female servants.
They want status. He's like, look at what I have. Everybody wants you here. And the fact that she just considered what he said to be just really in bad taste, right? His comment was so rude that everybody wants to be in your bed, and she's like, "Excuse me, that's not what this is about,"
Seems like something Jane would say.
Right,
exactly. Because they don't know better, and that's what's so frustrating, right? Because I think with the paying for a companion, sex is a small part of it. Apparently, it's really being seen with them in public and actually spending quality time. It's not the same as what we would think of as a hooker. It's more of an escort. And this is the distinction, right?
That was in the conversation between Mal and Inara earlier. Yeah. He's like, so is there going to be a lot of people like you there? And she's like, no, there's not going to be any other companions. Maybe no one else could attract one. She didn't say pay for one. She said attract one.
They have all the money in the world, but the companions still have to pick you. That's the thing. Remember when Mal, during that conversation, says something about, like, he must have a lot of stamina? Like, again, he keeps bringing it back to sex, and that's, like, not what this arrangement is supposed to be. So, or not all of what the arrangement is supposed to be. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back at the ball, and, Atherton is talking about, the offer he made to Amara that, she can live, and live a great life there on Persephone.
As his personal
companion.
Ugh. Just the way he said it.
She tells him he's a generous man. She tells him he is a generous man, and he says that is not a yes. So that she goes, but it's not a no either. I don't think at this time she's completely sold on it, but she is considering it. But
I think she's humoring him. I think she's being polite because that's how she is. But the biggest thing she said, and I think it was in the pilot where she's explaining what she does as a companion, like the freedom to do whatever she wants. Like, her ship is attached to Serenity, but Mal has to knock to get into her quarters, right? He can't just walk in. He did knock in the scene, right? Even though he's like seemingly intrusive, like she did say come in or whatever. Like, there's still boundaries of like what her space is, what the ship is. She's attached to the ship, but can go on her own. She has all this freedom. She can expand her client base. Like, she's the opposite of trapped. She's probably the most free person we know. That offer to be like someone's only person and through payment feels like being owned. And I can't imagine she would ever say yes, but I think she's being polite during the duration of their assignment. And then I think after that, she might be like, I'm not really interested in choosing you again. Right.
Yeah.
But she's also on Persephone because they have to be for this episode to have like the plot happen. And while there, I feel like it would almost be in bad taste if she was like, oh, I'm going with someone else to this thing because they have history. Like, there's so much of
he
her,
engaged
like,
her for several days, right? Like, so she has a contract, she has a commitment, and she has to maintain a facade that entire time. You can't have him pissed off the first night, right?
Yeah,
because
she's
then that's
good
going to
at
make the
playing
rest of
this
the time.
game, this like aristocratic bullshit game.
So so they announced Kaylee Winnett Fry, and Escort.
And Atherton also tells Inara that she doesn't belong. That she belongs there on Persephone, not on that flying piece of Gosa.
Yep.
And we know what that is. Crap.
It's crap.
And that's the cursing that she says, I don't want to hear. And then she says says it like a minute later. So good.
And then when Kaylee is announced, and that's when Inara goes, oh, Gosa. Like, oh no. She knows that something's going to happen.
Yeah, so then we have a wonderful
comes with,
scene. Go ahead.
Where, Mal is pulling at his pants, and he's like, does this seem kind of tight? And she goes, oh, it shows off your backside. And she starts going off about the hovering chandelier, the mangoes on the buffet, which originally the script was pineapples. But the prop crew said the pineapples that when they went shopping looked horrible, so they got mangoes instead. And all the beautiful dresses, including hers. And he tells her to be careful that they cheated Badger out of good money for that frippery. And she looks at him and says, yes, sir, Captain Tight Pants.
There it is. That's the line.
So good.
Yep.
So he needs her to help him find Waro. They're looking for a guy with a blue sash. That's who they're looking for. And the only thing Kaylee's looking at is that pile of strawberries on the buffet table.
The buffet table.
Yeah. And so she's like, we need to go question it. We can't be sure of it. He's like, fine. Just don't make yourself sick. Get out of here. She's like, thanks. Bye.
The mean girls who are so mean to her are so perfect. And when they tell her that her girl did a bad job because her dress looks like it's made from a store, I was like, oh, they're such assholes. And then they talk about how the party wasn't as good this year. And I think Kaylee says, well, what did they have last year? And they say standards. Oh,
and
no.
You could see Kaylee's face fall. She's realizing
she was not getting it until just then.
And I was like, oh, man, like, first of all, punch that girl. But also, that's such a great read. As someone who appreciates like drag queen kind of reading for filth, like, oh man, that was amazing. Although then that lady gets her ass handed to her by the guy who comes over. So I was like, you know what? The writing in this episode, we could go on and on and on for days. Yeah. That might be the line of the show, Dave. We could have a fight right now and make a poll as to like what's the best line in the show. Because I still think it's like up until the punching. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of great choices.
There's a lot of choices.
Yeah,
everybody, whatever your favorite line of the show is, put them in the comments. We'll kind of see if we can read them off at the end. But actually, right before we get to the Mean Girls scene, we jump back to the ship, and this is where we get our introduction to Tall Card. We have Book and Jane and Simon hanging out in the eating area, playing poker, playing chore poker. They're giving up their chores, and that's what they're betting with in a game of Tall Card.
And then River wanders
in the background.
River wanders in, and she just becomes kind of obsessed with the canned goods, and it's like she's on her own little world, and she starts ripping all the labels off and everything. And Book and Simon go to try and calm her down, and Jane sees it an opportunity to kind of cheat some and changes around some of the chores and everything.
Money back. But of course, what you don't see, because it's not obvious according to the script, is that those cans and those boxes have the Blue Sun label on it. That's why she gets all upset and starts tearing at it and starts talking about some of her... these are the ones that take you, the little ones in the corner that you almost don't see, but they're the ones that reach it into it. They're the ones with the teeth, and you have to smash them. And that's when she starts getting it. So she starts having all of this ranting.
That makes perfect sense now.
Yep, that's why she flips out about it.
Crazy.
Nope, it's the Blue Sun pieces. Yep.
This
and then she's like, a million things and the little ends of roots that go everywhere. And when you brush your teeth, or all the little blue bits, they're there, but no one says it because sometimes they're afraid, and then they come. Yeah. So the writing is just amazing, and Summer's acting in this is but yeah, she's ripping the labels off because they all say Blue Sun, which is the corporation that is behind, we learn later, the experiments that were done on her at the academy.
Yeah,
there's so much great things to unpack when you have some hindsight for the whole series of like her little freakouts. I'm glad you found that specific, like why that thing triggered her, because I just thought it was like her having an episode, and her episodes make a lot more sense as we get to like the movie Serenity, and where they really give you all that explanation. But even everyone else's like motivations throughout.
What's happening?
It's so much better the second watch, or however many watches you've done. Like you pick up stuff every time you go. Especially like with like Zoe, I keep coming back to like her relationship with Mal and how far back it goes informs every single thing she says to him, and how he only listens to her. Like no one else can get through to Mal unless Zoe co-signs or like leads the charge.
Yep. So the next scene we jump to what Wash and Zoe are doing while everybody else is having
consensual sex with partners as opposed to a pay dynamic, right?
Respected partners, exactly. Yeah. Jane said that the Wash and Zoe relationship is her favorite thing on Firefly. And she was actually a little sad that they really only get this one romantic scene just between the two of them about the in-depthness of their relationship. So she wrote the whole scene, and at the end of it, Wash starts rambling on about poetry. And originally in her script, she didn't actually write any of the poem. But Josh thought that it was such a great idea that he added in there for Wash to actually start riffing on the poetry, which has turned into one of the best scenes in the series. So I love that fact that it was an adaptation.
And Shauna mentions that this is one of the few scenes where you see Zoe without her necklace on, but and that is like enforces the bond between her and Wash, because she considers that necklace is like the proof of their marriage, and that's why you never see her without it, except for this scene where she's with Wash, and so she's confident of their marriage in that point.
I like that. That's really neat. Yep. Here lies my beloved Zoe, my autumn flower, somewhat less attractive now that she's all corpseified and gross. Is how this scene ends. And then she whacks him with a pillow. It was awesome. Very well done.
Just somewhat. He was being very kind.
And she's just wanting to roll over and go to sleep. And
yeah, sleep is a sign of weakness of character.
And Jane Esperson was saying this was kind of like, flipping the tables where usually it's the man that rolls over and falls asleep. And, wanted to show, how Zoe was kind of like, I don't know how I want to say that. But just flipping the tables to where, it was the woman.
The expectations. Yeah. Like you did with Inara being the companion. It's not what you think it's going to be. Yeah. Yeah.
There's such a cognitive dissonance to the strength in all of the Whedon female characters in his fiction shows and how they're always in charge and in command and like leading the charge in all ways. And then like we find out the truth behind the scenes of what he's like in real life. It's a whole like mind fuck of it all. But like
it really
Zoe, Kaylee, Inara are like three of the greatest women in all of sci-fi, all from one show. And like they're not technically in charge. Mal's the captain, but who's really in charge here? It's Zoe.
Right.
And who's keeping the ship flying? It's Kaylee. And who is the highest ranking person from a societal perspective?
Respectability.
Nara. Like everyone else, like Jane is a fucking idiot. Like the doctor. Oh, and River's actually the key to unlocking everything, right? So like River,
she's the mind reading genius. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then her brother is like the silver medal winner in that family, even though he is legitimately a genius as well. That's the hilarity of it. So like the women run this show. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that I can't give up this show.
Yeah, same.
That why I had to separate it from the creator, and especially distance and time helped because that kind of ugliness didn't exist on the Firefly set, even though it was simultaneously happening elsewhere. For that little brief moment of time, it didn't happen in this show. So that makes it near and dear to my heart. I find that very endearing. So. Part of the reason I'm excited for more, right? To be able to move forward, get more stories, more in the verse.
Please get this animated series. Can we make it
without
fly?
Joss Whedon? Without.
Yeah, we always encourage people to watch it on the streaming, even if you have the DVD. So it
boosts
views,
the numbers.
So,
So
people, the powers that be know that there's people wanting this.
Yes, that's the way you can help. So then we get through the ugly Mean Girls scene. And it was Murphy who shows up. Banning Miller, what a vision you are in that fine dress. Your daddy tells me it takes the space of a schoolboy's wink to get you out of it. And that's what shuts her off. It sets her in the Mean Girls scampering away.
And I love it while listening to the commentary for this episode. And I don't know which one it was, but they said that the actor who portrayed this reminded them of an older Clark Gable. And, once they said that, I kind of, he
Murphy.
does similar look
to
Clark Gable. And, even with that kind of little Southern drawl a little bit. And I saw it once it was pointed out to me.
Me too. I love that. That's amazing. And so while that's going on, Mal finally hunts down Harrow. And unfortunately, again, little fish out of water, he makes a bad start. He does not impress Harrow because he doesn't understand that the sash indicates lordhood. Doesn't understand that he's supposed to call him Sir Warwick Harrow. Not impressed at all. Tries to walk away. It's not going well for the captain.
No, and that's when Atherton and Inara show up. And, Atherton kind of says, I think I belong with your club or know you from the club or whatever. Right. And Inara introduces Mal, Captain Mal, and I'm losing myself.
Yeah, and then Mal starts poking at Atherton because he just can't resist because he has the maturity of a 5-year-old. Calls it Ath. Can I call you Ath? Oh, Inara told me all about you.
And Jane said that that Ath was kind of a play on calling him an ass.
I love it. I get that. That sounds quite accurate. Yep. So of course, then Mel's got to twist the knife in a little bit and put him in an awkward position and say, "Well, I'm sure you won't mind if I give Inara a request of a dance, right? If she gives me the favor of a dance." And of course, what's Atherton going to say? He's in polite society. He's got rules. He says, "Sure, of course, no problem," right? I love that. Harrow just says, "You are a brave man."
Stupid.
And that's where shows a little more of where Atherton is when he replies, "I know what is mine."
Yeah. Ooh.
And
coming back to that ownership nonsense.
Yeah. So
this
Anara
was a difficult scene, from what I understand, to shoot. They basically had to go back in and ADR it because all of the stompy, clompy feet and all of the people in the ballroom, it was really hard for the microphones to pick it up. So, yeah.
Yeah, they said they even put like people in rubber-soled shoes, but it still wasn't enough to tamp down all the noise.
The
and it was also
really good, though. I didn't notice any egregious ADR at all.
Yeah, they did a good job.
And it was, Morena said it was also challenging because they had to do lines, where they were in certain places on in the dance,
right,
to make it work.
A lot of good choreography because they were doing like the separating, the back and forth, and everything. Yeah, that's true.
And originally, kind of Mal was supposed to not be a very good dancer. But because Nathan picked up so well and everything, and that's why they added the line at the beat before they went out to dance where he says, I think I know this one.
Oh, that's very clever.
Yeah, he's like, I might know this one after all.
Well,
hint,
to your point about the choreography and the timing and the hitting your mark and the camera and look here and all that stuff, that's hard enough to do in like a regular like 3-camera sitcom format. Now you're talking about moving around a set that requires choreography, stunt work, all these extras, all of this set work. This is an expensive episode. If you're not good at it and your character is supposed to be bad at it, and so you're missing the sync or whatever, like that could be a major problem for production and editing. So that's a smart way to fix that.
Yeah. They said they had over 300 extras this episode for that ballroom scene.
It didn't look like that many, but that was, it's very impressive. And now they would fill that shit out with a green screen, and we'd be shooting it in the volume.
And they said, exactly. And it was also hard for the costume department because they had to, source all these costumes, for, that fits the period and everything, and they just had so many to get.
Yeah. Jane said that this episode turned out really well, and it's one of the few episodes in my entire career in which I was on the set for almost every take of every scene, and that she is terribly proud of it, which I think she should be, because as Mark said, this is really quite a feat of cinematography, and it was done back in 2001, so actually I don't think it, like you said, it wouldn't be made.
There's bits of CGI in this episode that, to me, seems flawless. Like the hovering chandelier is
it really
all
does
CGI.
Hold up well. Yeah, it did hold up well.
And that's meant to even be CGI to the people in universe. Like, it's not real. Like, a chandelier is just a light source, and the floating chandelier is supposed to look like a floating light source. That's what it looks like. So like everything else is so practical that like the knob you were talking about, it's a light bulb on a knob or whatever, but it looks seamless to the universe, which is why I also love that they made the decision early on to make this kind of gritty so that like nothing looks pristine. And it gives them, it's kind of like how when you buy a product that has like intentional flaws to it, like, oh, this is battle damaged, or there's like that kind of distressing on something. It gives you space.
It makes
like,
it feel
to hide mistakes. Yeah.
I love that.
Love it.
So while Mal and Nora are going through that, Kaylee is finally made some connections with the young farmers on the planet. She's standing there munching on chocolate mints, and everybody's all chatting in a big hover around her. She's speaking their language, making jokes back and forth. In fact, one of the young swains finally asks her if she would come dance with him when she was rebuffed earlier in the evening. So she has definitely found her element and is thoroughly enjoying herself. Of course, they tell the kid to shut up. Kaylee's talking. We want to talk more about, ships and farm equipment and stuff. So.
And Mal and Anara talking on the dance floor some more, and
Atherton's had enough.
Anara asking why he's there, and he says, business, just like you. You came over to me, and she says, but you were staring at me. He says, I saw you, and you stand out. She tells him in this company, he stands out. And he says, well, maybe I just want to see a professional at work. And she accuses him of trying to shame what she does. And she says, at least it's legal. And Mal says, well, maybe it's legal. What I do might be illegal, but at least it's honest. And,
there's nothing honest. That's so funny.
Well, but then he goes on to talk about that, this guy's walking around with you on his arm like he won you. Like it's like that you actually care about him. He's like, it's phony. None of these people here. This is not real. It's fake. So.
Yeah.
Mel's
and so Inara,
is also not 100%, I would say, truthful, or I don't know. It's not pure.
No.
His also comes with a slight taint to it, just a very different flavor of it. So all the men are terrible, which is kind of also funny that that's how Whedon writes them. But
they're all flawed. They're all flawed in their own way.
She shouldn't choose either of these idiots, just for very different reasons. Like Mal needs to do a lot of work on himself before he makes himself an eligible bachelor for her. But he starts down the path in this episode by his upcoming actions, for sure.
Yes. So Atherton's had enough with all of this conversation, and he walks up and grabs her arm. Yep. Pulls her arm, hauling her backwards. And Mel's like, hey, whoa, there's no need for hands-on. What are you doing? He said, excuse me, she's not here with you. She's mine. He goes, yours? She doesn't belong to anybody. And then Ath starts getting mouthy, talk about how money changed hands. It doesn't matter how you dress her up. She's still a wham, face punch right in the nose.
Yep.
And Inara's like, Mel, what are you doing? And one of my favorite lines, and especially the way Nathan Devers is like, what? Man was out of line. And I was like, yep, I agree. I'd have punched him too, right in the face. Yep.
And then, Atherton gets up and he says, I accept. And Mal's like,
that's great.
Great, what? And then you hear like Mal's, Atherton's friends say there has been a challenge.
Yeah.
I hope you're
like,
prepared.
run, bitch, run. Like, get out there.
Mal's ready to fight. He starts, he's taking his jacket off and everything. And Mal says, and Inara says, no, it's not a fist fight. It's a duel. So Mal thinks it's with pistols. So he's still ready to go. He says, there's lots of guns there. They checked them all at the door and everything. Yep. And it's like,
another gentleman says, but I'm sure anyone here will lend you the use of a sword. Mal goes, use of a sword?
Yeah, a sword? Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
So
I like when he's out of his depth.
Me too. No, it's never not funny, right? When Mal's a fish out of water, they're like, what the hell is going on here? Kaylee's like, I don't know what's happening, what's going on. So Harrow has to break it all down and explain it to him, right? You're going to be put up for lodging for the night, so you can't make a run. Inara's like, we got to get you a second. And he's like, what's a second? What's happening? And of course, Atherton's trying to leave. And it's like, yo, Inara, let's go. And she's like, no, I'm helping here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mal says, okay, to Harrow, if you're my second, does that mean that they're going to be in business together? And Harrow tells him, no, it means you were in danger.
You're in mortal danger.
But by messing up Atherton's face, you have endeared yourself to me. You might even give him a fight.
Mm. Yeah,
and Atherton then, Atherton yells
clear across the room.
Inara, clear across the room, and she practically goes. And that's when Kaylee makes her line about the. Up until then, it was a real nice party.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a little passive aggressive for my taste. I don't think that's nice. I was like, what? What are you making him feel guilty for? The guy deserved to get punched. I'm sorry. Like, hang on. What was he just? No. I'm with Mal on this one. Sorry, Kaylee. Dumb rules of society. So then we jump back to Serenity, and this is when we get, as an audience, more of the explanation going on. Jane's working out. He hears a knock on the door, opens it up, and in strolls Badger. And this is one of the reasons I love Mark so much. The way he is literally looking around the ship, it's like he's assessing it. It's like he thinks it's a person he's going to buy, or it's like it's his. He's like, oh, yeah, nice ship.
It will be as soon as Mal is dead, right? He's doing the math. He's like, oh, this will be mine in like 12 hours. Yeah.
But not a line. There's not a line about it. It's just his face and the way he acts. He is just an exceptional artist.
Yeah.
So everybody shows up, right? And then we get Book and we get Washa, we get Zoe, and everybody's there. And this to me is one of the best, like you said, with the round and around banter and the way the camera jumps back and forth. I think it was in a behind the scenes or a commentary in a later episode, but it applies here too. You can see when Joss is working on it, something that he picked up from his dad, who worked on Golden Girls, where you can make a joke or a funny line go 3 times as long just by cutting the camera back and forth between people's faces.
Yeah.
His dad worked on it, and and so you've got
Arthur's
this
best moments
are
when she's not saying anything. It's the facial expression, and then the hold, and the move to Rose, and the back to Blanche.
And you see it in Firefly. Yeah. Once you start looking for it, you see it happening in Firefly. Yeah. And it does that in this scene, where they're like, a duel with swords? Captain's a good fighter. He can handle himself. I think he knows which end to hold. Like, it just bounces back around, back and forth. And it is so funny.
And again, we're in episode 4. These people know each other so well. These characters are so known to the creators. The writers know them so well. The actors are playing them so perfectly. Yeah. The way they sync, getting more than 3 people on camera at a time is always a miracle. But then to have the chemistry work is a whole other thing.
Like, and the rapid fire, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so specific to Whedon. And I keep coming back to Buffy. Buffy is the template for it. Go watch Buffy season 2 and watch how 7 people sit in a room for 3 straight minutes talking at each other and to each other, the way they volley, with an adult in the room too, with like Giles being in the mix. Like, it's and using modern slang that needs explanation sometimes. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It absolutely is. So
is unreal.
Yeah. So Book, so they all start plotting how they're going to save Mal. And, Book turns to Badger and says, do you know where they're lodging him? And Badger smiles and he's like, this is embarrassing. You seem to misapprehend my purpose of being here. And Zoe's like, you're here to make sure we don't stop what these men are keen on doing. And Badger's like, penny for the smart lady. He says, Persephone is my home. It's where I got to do business, and I don't want it known that I brought someone in that caused such a ruckus. We'll just settle in till this blows over. And then Jane appears on a catwalk
with a gun.
With a gun and everything. And Zoe looks up and tells him, Jane, I wouldn't. And he's like, why not? And she looks toward the cargo door where Kaylee has appeared with Badger's men.
Badger's crew. Yep. Hi. Yep. So then very clearly nobody's going anywhere. They're not going to be rescued. However, we then cut to the fancy indoor hotel with all of the Chinese symbols and the art on the wall and everything. And Inara in her robe and slinky negligee is sneaking down the hallway. And that's where we get to see our really cool little futuristic key that lights up. There's no door handle. That's just how you get in and out, and the door slides open. And she nearly gets her head taken off by Mal, like swinging this scimitar and launching it into a pillar in the middle of the room. He's like,
he's not very good at it.
Nope. He's like, what are you doing here? I'm here to help back and forth. And basically, she's put the clerk on alert, and she's going to help him sneak out the back door.
Sneak out the back, made arrangements with the desk clerk, and everything.
Yeah, Nara's going to rescue him. And I'm like, go for it. Get the hell out of there.
Because the crew's not doing it, right? So, and of course, Mal ain't going to do it. He refuses. Yep. And she's like, why? What are you doing? He's an expert swordsman. And he's like, I don't run from a fight. She's like, yes, you do. You
should.
Run all the time.
Yeah, and also you should. Yeah.
But to him, it's kind of the principle. He feels like she needs to be defended.
Yeah, he's like, no. You want to help me? Teach me how to sword fight. And chucks her a fencing sword.
This is where he's not listening. She's telling him, I don't want you to fight for me. I don't need you to fight for me. I'd rather you be alive. He will kill you. And he's like, I'm going to defend your honor. You're going to do no such thing. You're going to be killed on the grass. Like,
exactly.
Listen.
Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yep. There was an interview recently with Selena Gomez, married to, I forget the husband. Whoever he is.
Bernie.
It's something. He's got wild hair, and he's like, fellas, all you have to do is listen to your girlfriend. Like, she's way hotter than me and way out of my league, but I'm a great listener. Like, that was it. He's like, I have no other useful skills. I listen. Like, and it was the kind of thing where it was like such a mic drop moment. Like,
that's all you need to do.
Benny Blanco, who by the way is hot. I don't understand why people don't think he's hot. He just has fucked up hair. That's it. Yeah. His hair is terrible. But other than that, he's like a musician, and he's really chill, and he loves his wife or girlfriend or whatever the hell they are. Like, and it's clear that he loves her, and he listens.
That's all it takes sometimes. That's all it takes. Yep. So yeah, here we go, Dave. We cut back to the crew in the cargo hold. Everybody's being forced there. Wash has got his head on his arms. He's trying to sleep. Everybody else is playing cards. They're whispering. Book is standing in there, looking through his Bible. They're kind of pacing around. They're trying to figure out, we can do this. We can do this. We can either, take them all at once. We can lure a couple of them away. What are we going to do? And while they have their heads together, they miss the fact that River has now walked into the cargo bay, which is implying that up to this point, she hasn't been seen by Badger or his crew. And that's not a good thing. Book walks up and just very quietly puts his hand on Simon's shoulder, and he's like, oh no! Like, okay, this is bad, right? The last thing we need is the slave trader, petty crook Badger getting a hold of crazy lady, wanted fugitive, because he's going to go look her up on the Cortex, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we get to a fantastic scene that he's like, who's that? What's going on? She got something to say. And they're like, no, you need to talk to her. He's like, why? What's going on? She got a secret. And boom, here comes Summer Glau. This scene was specifically created by Joss for Summer because he knew that she was really good with accents.
Yes.
And
really good.
The fantastic Mark Shepard took her to a cafe on his own time outside of the shooting schedule, and they sat with a tape recorder, and he went over and over and over with the lines, and she was asking him, how would you say it? What should it sound like? And they sat for hours going over it, and she just bangs out with this Cockney accent, does her whole monologue speech about Dighton Colony, and you're a petty little man on a sad little hill, delusions of standing. And he said that after her first take, everybody on stage broke out in applause because she was that good, and she nailed it after her very first take. So
she was great. Yeah,
I love this scene. Yep.
And this was the first time that we've seen River talk coherently.
Yeah, being cognizant and aware and understanding. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that she starts dropping, the private things about you've done some time in the lockup, but not as much as you claim, and just starts, and you're like, how did she know that? And Badger looks really uncomfortable. And this is when you kind of first start to get an inkling of what is really going on with her, because it almost seems like she's reading his mind. Like, how does she know all this stuff? She's just plucking it right out of the air.
Was it a guess, or did she read his mind? And on the first watch, you're thinking, oh, she's making educated guesses based on who this character is, based on who we know who he is.
Because she's smart. Right.
She's smart. Now, having seen the movie, going back, being like, oh, shit, she can hear his thoughts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Just pull him right out of there.
Yeah.
And then she ends her speech and leaves with, call me if anyone interested shows up. And everybody is just sitting there with their mouths hanging open. Everybody's in shock. Badger's like, I like her, And then all sitting around, and then you have
he was kind of impressed.
Yeah, and then you have one beat, and it's Jane's line, that they're exactly the kind of diversion we could use. They're all just so in shock at River speaking and just holding their breath that, she wasn't going to get in trouble. This just flew right by him.
So
Their one shot they had was so gone. Yep. All right, so now we're back to pre-dawn, wee hours of the morning. Mal and Inara are still at it. They're bickering back and forth. She's like, stop swinging from the shoulder like you're chopping wood. You got to thrust or try to, he's like, but this is stronger. And she's like, it's not about strength. It's about speed. We're fragile creatures. He's like, wait, where'd you learn that? Horse school? Like, how do you know these things? This is weird, And she's said, you have a strange sense of nobility. You lay a man out for implying I'm a whore, but you call me one right to my face. Like, finally she's like, okay, what the hell's going on here? Like, I've had it, And he's like, I may not show respect to your job, but he didn't respect you. And that's the difference. He doesn't even see you, Inara. He just sees he has this prize that he's paid for. That's it, right?
Yeah.
And then she makes the comment, I'm sure death will settle the issue to everyone's satisfaction.
And is this where he asks her, says if something happens to him, that she not stay?
Yeah, said don't take his offer. She said don't do it, because if that comes up, it's because he's the fellow that killed me. And I don't like fellas that kill me, not in general. And he said, like I said before, I don't got no call to stop you, but just don't. And she doesn't answer. She just says, I have to get back. Got that big morning, something important to do. And that's it. So yeah, there's that awkward dancing around. Mal shows a lot of vulnerability, asking her to not stay with him, right? Even if he dies, don't do it, because you deserve better than that.
Yeah. That's the actual real moment of respect we find. Everything else is him still not quite being there. Like him saying, well, I don't respect your job, but I still respect you. It's still not 100% respect. That moment, though, feels like the turning point where he's like, okay, like, whatever happens to me, please don't settle for this dick. Like,
yeah. And the funny thing is, like we all talked about, she probably already feels that way.
Yeah.
But she doesn't show it, so he doesn't know. That she's that good.
Men are idiots that need to be told. Like, he has no
she's
context
that good at maintaining her facade, right? Like, she's going to be a professional and stand by the guy that she contracted with, no matter what. But that doesn't mean that she's going to be duped by him, right? Yeah. And so then we get to the duel. Here we are, the duel. Everybody's standing around. They're in their shirt sleeves. They've got their swords. And I apologize for ruining this scene for anyone who has not seen it recently. But the next time you see it, you will see that they used a smoke machine to try to recreate the like dawn, like there's mist, or in the air, and it's dawn, and it took so long to shoot the scene. The sun started to come up, so it didn't look like pre-dawn anymore. And then the wind picked up. And so it wasn't just mist along the ground, there was just smoke everywhere. It just looked like the prairie.
He said it looked like something was on fire.
And now you go see it, and they did a pretty good job of editing it out, but there's a couple of times when there's like smoke going by Inara's face. And she's like, it was a disaster, but we were running out of time. We just ran with what we had.
And they also said that they were next to what was like a country bear jamboree place. And so they had to kind of, work around some of that too, because there would be things going on over there.
I did not know that. That's awesome. So the duel goes as you might expect. And I think it's pretty funny. They had some bouncing back and forth, and Mal making a snarky remark about, you better be careful. I hear these things are sharp. And Hera looks at him and goes, he thinks he's doing well, doesn't he? And Inara's like, he's being toyed with. Yeah.
He doesn't realize he's being played with.
Yeah. So Mal gets nicked on the arm. Stuff starts going a little crazy. Atherton stops and puts his sword behind his back, and Inara's like, don't fall for that. And he runs for it, gets stabbed right in the side. It's not going to take long. Hera looks right at Inara and says, we're coming up on the end here, miss. You might want to not watch. Right? It isn't. Yep, it's not good. Mal's sword breaks, and at that point, he goes to one knee, and Atherton holds him right at sword point, right at the chest. And that's when Inara jumps in and says, wait, I'll stay. I'll do it. I'll stay here.
Let him live.
Yep, just let him live, right? Fortunately, because Mal fights dirty, and figures out what Inara's doing, and he flips the fight. He lunges at him, catches him under the chin with the hilt, throws him back, trying to regroup, kicks the broken sword point into the ground, steals the sword, gets the upper hand. He's got a bloody cut on his face. He's all beaten and everything. The gentleman who's managing the duel yells, that's it. He's down. It's done. Right? And he's just standing there, holding the sword at him, trying to decide what to do. And Hera runs up and says, you have to finish it. You can't just leave him there, broken and beaten and bleeding. It's an embarrassment, right?
And Mal seems to think, that's kind of the point. He's humiliated.
Right? Yep. And as Jason just said,
everyone will know.
He kills people, but he doesn't really want to kill this guy. He does want to make him look like
I agree. Yes. As Jason said, another great line. Mercy is the mark of a great man. Stabs. Well, I guess I'm just a good man. Stabs him again. Okay, I'm all right.
I'm all right. Yeah.
I'm a decent one, right? So that's it. Inara tries to help Mal. Who's stabbed really bad in the side, and he's got his nicks on his arm, and he's kind of a mess, and so she goes to help him. And then Atherton, of course, gets all mad, and she says, get over here, get back here. And Hera's like, you lost her, right? She's gone. Get over it.
Yeah, and Atherton accuses her of setting it all up and everything, and
calls her a whore and says, I should have uglied you up so no one else would want you. And Mal's like, see how I'm not punching him? I feel like I've grown. But then we get to the key point here with Inara when she says, actually, that's not how it works. You've earned yourself a black mark in the Companions Registry. No one is going to contract with you ever again. Which I love that line. She's like, this is not how it works. You don't get to. She's like, no, you're toast. And Harrow says, I guess you'll have to rely on your charm in order to win women. God help us all. And that's where, as they all walk away, Harrow says, look, if you're going to fight that hard to protect my cargo, I'll have it in your hold by nightfall, by midnight.
Yeah.
By the end of the night. And
the
that's
cargo
what Mel
ends
says.
up being something really funny, too. And
Mel
what a
says one
great
of my
way
favorite
to end
lines,
it.
mighty fine shindig.
Yep. Mighty fine
He
shindig.
comes staggering back into the crew. They're all into the hold. The crew is all there. They're getting ready to spring into action. They're filling each other in. Here we go. Mal accuses them all of being lazy. And everybody's like, oh my God, you're playing.
We've been held prisoner.
What happened? What happened? You know? And yep. Wash is like, I was going to watch. It was very exciting. You know, everybody okay? And he tells Badger to get the hell off his ship. We got a deal. Whatever. We're all good. And then I had to also show this. We get to see Kaylee coming out of the engine room sometime later, covered in grease, wiping her hands off, and we actually get to see this in her room. It's her door sign.
Oh, yes, her little sign.
It's a nice close-up. Yep, got a little pin of that. I think we see it briefly in the pilot, too, but this was like the real good close-up. She's got her hair all up. She's humming. She's humming something, kind of skipping along all happy. And she climbs down into her room and she turns on the Cortex and she tunes in the music that she's been humming. And she fishes something out of a wrapper and sits back on her bed and it pans back and she's got her big dress all put up on the wall. She's listening to the music and eating chocolates and reliving her little Cinderella moment.
They're very content. And originally, Kaylee's last scene was going to be completely different.
Really?
Yes. Originally, the last scene with her was going to be her and Simon dancing on the ship and this cargo while she was wearing the dress, and she was going to tell him that the thing in the dress made her feel like the clapper in a bell, and she was ringing while she danced. But I didn't get why they changed the scene, but I like to think that maybe it was Simon and Kaylee weren't at that point yet.
They weren't.
She still was really crushing on him.
It was too soon. Yeah. It was too soon.
Yeah, it was too soon. I mean, if this had happened later, it would have been more believable. It would be. I can see it being a beautiful scene, but too soon.
Yeah, I agree. That's really interesting. So the final scene of the episode is Inara and Mal sitting up on the catwalk in the cargo bay, and they have a nice little bottle of Kaylee's inter-engine fermentation system. Very fresh wine, chatting about
more wood wine.
No, this is engine wine. It's even worse. Wood alcohol is bad, but engine wine has got to be absolutely god awful. I cannot imagine.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can see there being a taste of grease in it.
Oh, something. Yeah, I don't want to know. Yeah. Chatting about I should have stayed out of your world. You know, in the end, maybe it wasn't so great. This is also a line that we use a lot in our family. Every time somebody gets hurt, and Nara's like, well, you know, it wasn't entirely a disaster. And I was like, I got stabbed right here. You want to say,
You and I wrote down every quote, that's right there. It wasn't that bad. I got stabbed. Yeah, it wasn't a total disaster. I was stabbed.
I got stabbed.
If she's that isn't the story of our lives,
right? But you lined up exciting new crime, right? Yeah. You know, all my thing. She's like, I wasn't gonna stay. I wasn't gonna do it. And he's like, oh, really? Why not? And she goes, well, somebody has to look after Kaylee, and all my things are here. You know. And it's a great ending where she goes, why would I ever want to leave Serenity?
Sarah.
And
why would I leave Serenity?
Mel says, I can't think of a reason why. And the camera pans back, and the entire cargo bay is full of cows. That is the cargo.
Lots of lovely cows, which is Harrow's cargo.
And that's how it ends. Boom. There it is.
I fully thought it would be weapons. So I'm so glad it was fucking cows, because it's so funny.
I don't know what I thought.
And they were all they were CGI cows, but very realistic looking.
Oh, I thought they were great. It's seamless.
Wow. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I want to talk about Morena's thoughts on this episode.
Yes.
she felt that this episode solidified her and Mal's relationship, and that they had respect for each other. And both seemed to realize that while they may not fit in each other's worlds, they often don't fit in their own, that they're a couple of misfits in their own worlds. And the whole crew is a crew of misfits that have found each other. And, it's that found family that runs through the whole series.
Yeah, they fit on Serenity, right? Like they don't fit outside in each other's worlds, but they fit here. Yeah, I love it. And I want more. I want more. We have to get more.
There's one other tidbit, and I know that Marina knew this because only Joss and only Marina knew this. So watching back every episode, it's been a journey. The character of Inara is supposedly dying very slowly. Like she's terminal, and it's not visible. And they only have a throwaway line about it in an episode coming up much later in the series where she says something like, how much time do any of us really have, Mal? And it seemed more about the fact that like the government is trying to kill them at every fucking turn, right? But she is literally dying. And I think part of like her big grand adventure is being a part of Serenity, being able to explore the universe. And I think it's also why she creates distance between her and Mal. Why would she allow anyone to fall in love with her? Why would she allow herself to fall in love with anyone when it's all so temporary? And that's
what the syringe was for in the Serenity episode.
Yes. Yeah.
It was her medicine.
Yes. There's an even darker twist of like
there's a
how
darker
infectious
twist of that,
she could be if something happens. And I don't even want to get into that subplot because it is not really canon. It's more of like unproduced.
What they were going to do. Yeah. And I hope that storyline is not used if we go forward with an animated series. I don't want that one at all. That was
I don't think we'll be headed down that type of behavior for said person. That being said, I think there is something interesting about any character that's living like they're dying when honestly, they know it and no one else does.
I keep forgetting. I watch the show and I'm like, why can't they be together? Oh, right. Damn, she's dying. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting. Every time I watch it, I keep thinking, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. No, it's going to suck because she's terminal.
They all kind of live that way too because I think at any given moment, River and the Doctor are so close to being caught at any given moment. Like they live literally in the moment and they're trying to survive. They're surviving and Inara is trying to live while dying, right? But they're all trying to just make it through. There's such a desperation to this show, and it's like a beautiful desperation and like the saddest thing imaginable, but also so fucking fun. It's like
it is.
It makes no sense. It's such a weird cognitive dissonance that you experience when watching the show.
It shouldn't be that fun, right? Like it should be sadder.
Yeah, I should be bawling my eyes out, but why am I cracking up? Because you know what? It was a total disaster. I got stabbed. So
I'm in pain. I got stabbed. Yes. Exactly. Well, this was
JB. Could you put up Dave's comments about the beagles because I have a comment about that.
Yeah.
Where he's saying it should have been beagles instead of the cows because beagles have smallish droppings.
Oh yeah, I'll put that up right here. Boop.
Oh, you know what? Beagles. Never mind. Because I'm thinking, I don't know where I'm getting my head. I was going to say, no, my brother had beagles, but he didn't have beagles. He had dachshunds, and their droppings were not small. Even though they were small dogs, their droppings were not small.
Before we get into our favorite quote of the episode, which I know we want to do before we close out, I wanted to point out that we have Shinobi IT in the chat.
Hello.
One of our sponsors for Boon to Eve and Rebel ScumCon.
To have you with us.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sure you have seen our graphic that we put up in every show to thank you. Oh, let me take off the comment because it's blocking a bunch of the information. Hold on. Let's get rid of that right there.
There we go.
So for everyone who's coming to Boon to Eve, I can't believe we're a week away. I'm so excited. It's going to be such a blast. Thank you to all of our sponsors, including Shinobi IT. Scan the QR code here, and it will take you to their suite of services. They do software training, workflow optimization. If you have kids, we have parental controls so you can surf the internet safely. There's a bunch of different things they do. They don't fix lightsabers, as I like to say, but they've got a lot of other capabilities, especially if you're not like super tech savvy. I feel like tech is moving at such a speed that we can't all keep up. Visit their website and check out everything they have to offer because it is an ever-changing landscape over here, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe they could help me with my tech issues.
I feel like the internet just sucks everywhere. I was dealing with that on Clone Wars a couple weeks ago. I was like, why is my internet cutting out? It's internet. Like, why isn't it always stable? But we need satellite. I think that's what it comes down to. And just a reminder for everyone, with Boonta Eve coming up next Friday, there are a very limited number of tickets left for our event at the Revel Patio Grill. Adults are $35. Kids 12 and under are $30. Very few tickets left. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors, including NH LASIK. So if you are in the age range of me and Sarah and Sherry, maybe you're thinking about trying to stay on target, and maybe you're thinking about reading glasses. Maybe you have larger vision issues. You can check out NH LASIK. We also have Toink, who's going to be doing a whole bunch of door prizes at the show. So if you're there in Texas, we're going to be giving away all sorts of fun stuff. Save
that little Hello Kitty dinosaur is adorable.
I love when Hello Kitty dresses up. She is a fashion girly, and she is always in some crazy costume.
Let me tell you the Hello Kitty thing I saw today in the grocery store.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I think it's got a little too far. It was Hello Kitty spam.
Oh, that's
dear.
Crazy.
Oh, dear.
It's weird. Spam doesn't usually license. But you can find Hello Kitty products and a whole bunch of other cool stuff on the Toink website, and you can use code VCN10 to save 10%. And thank you to all of our sponsors. We are so fortunate to have so many amazing partners who are helping us put on this spectacular event. I can't believe it. I will already be in Texas at this point. I fly down on Thursday.
So do we.
There's so much to do. But we are 24 hours out from like the event being in like full swing, which is amazing. So I can't wait. It's going to be such a great time. Anyway, we hope to see you all in Texas. And of course, thank you again to Shinobi IT for being one of our partners as well. What do we have coming up this week? Oh, we should put up the schedule real quick.
That's the wrong week.
Here we go. That's the wrong week. Hold on. I'm going to scroll down and put up the newest one. I know JB uploaded it. Here we go.
I was going to say, there we are. That looks better.
Yeah, this is the big one. So we're already at Firefly Fridays. There's not a lot else happening this week. There's a new episode of Jedi Archives, and we have a big Rebel Scum playlist happening tomorrow. So people who you're going to see at Boonta Eve,
our guests,
have done, our guests for the show have done a lot of our shows on the network for the past couple weeks. We're going to be replaying a lot of that content. So we're so excited to, one, reflight all that, content that maybe you've watched already, maybe you may have missed it, so it'll be new to you. But yeah, tune in tomorrow starting probably around 12 noon. And we're just going to play a whole bunch of videos. And then we'll see you guys in Texas.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Our next episode of Firefly Friday will be in 2 weeks, August 14th, and it will be Safe. One of my favorite episodes. Can't wait.
Yes, another good episode. They're all good episodes.
They are. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark. This was fantastic.
Loved it. Thank you guys for
having
me.
Stayed on target. On
Pretty
topic.
much. You did a good job.
Yeah.
We're impressed.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for
Skip will be jealous.
I was threatened a lot. I just want everyone to know that on record. So, but we love it.
There's just so much to talk about this episode. We knew we'd be here till midnight if Mark did any tangents. We had to.
Oh my God, I still want to talk, but I'm actually going out. Can you believe it? I'm meeting a friend. So.
Oh boy.
It's late, but we're going out. So it's summer in New York City.
Time.
Let's go out. Yeah.
Woo! I love it. All right. Well, thank you all, everybody, for joining us in the comments. We had a great time.
Yes, thank you. Stay shiny, everyone.
See you out in the black.